Well, Sierra, thank you for doing this ArtistWorks interview here at RockyGrass.
Here we are.
Here we are at RockyGrass once again, one of our favorite spots to pick and teach and visit. And I want to come up here and just speak with Sierra. She's got a lot going on. She's been nominated for another Mandolin Player of the Year award. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to you.
Oh, thanks.
Your Dobro nomination again.
It's cool. It's interesting. It's interesting to be a part of that. You know, when you grow up going to IBMA.
Oh yeah.
And seeing all your heroes get those awards or nominated, and you've won it twice, right?
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah.
Two
the last 2 years, yeah.
That is amazing.
Which is, it's like,
so
you know,
cool.
I mean, I went to my first IBMA when I was 9 years old, so, you know, I remember kind of going to the award show for the first time when I was around 12 and kind of thinking, wow, you know, just, I want to be part of this community. And, you know, just fast forward all these years later as an adult, it's just, you know, kind of a surreal thing, because they're kind of things you would hope you'd get to be included in that circle of folks, you know, so I'm really grateful.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but you've been doing it since you were just a wee babe.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever saw you it was like an Alison Krauss thing, maybe at the Opry or something. You
Probably
were maybe
so.
10 or 11 or something.
Well, so most people, I think, saw the thing that I did with her at the Grand Ole Opry because it was televised on CMT, and so I was 11 at that time.
Back when they used to televise all the Opries. That was a big deal.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I was so thrilled because she was, you know, my biggest hero in the world. So to have that happen, you know, it was just crazy.
Did you ever get nerves even as a kid, or do you know, like stage nerves or anything? I mean,
you know, I'd say probably less back then than now. Every now and then I'll have a moment where I'm just kind of like, ooh, you know, do I really know all the arrangements of what I'm doing? Or, you know, it's like you suddenly become an artist, and, you know, I think there's a different kind of pressure level sometimes that we can put on ourselves, which is crazy to do. You know, it's just music and you're trying to be real and honest, but, you know, we set a high bar for ourselves, and sometimes, you know, I can psych myself up a little about that. But as a kid, I mean, you know, I think sometimes you don't know any better. You're just like, cool, wow. And I was so excited, you know, to get to share the stage with somebody like her, or anytime I got to be around my heroes. I think it was just more wow, you know, than nerves.
Right. And that's actually a good point. It's like, and I tell my students sometimes, you know, you kind of want to keep that childlike wonderment about the music if you can, because like you say, it's like originally you're not nervous, you're just up there just doing your thing, not really thinking about any of that.
Absolutely.
And of course, as you get older, you have a business kind of, and there's all these other things, and maybe it's a little easier to get in your head. I know, same for me, but to you know, you look back at yourself as a little kid just enjoying the moment. And,
it's funny, I was talking, Allison's birthday was just a couple days ago, and I was talking to Justin, my husband, you know, about how, you know, grateful I am to her for all the wonderful opportunities, but, you know, when I really kind of go, man, like, she was my biggest hero. I mean, and I'm still such a fan, but, you know, I said, like, I think as a kid, lots of us, and, you know, I imagine you had these yourself, but, like, you know, there was lots of people I admired, but she was, like, the biggest one. That was, like, I mean, I was just so in love with her and her music, and I think there's that childlike wonder that you have, and admiration for somebody that I don't think, you know, adults really have that in us. You know, it's like it's something that, like, is magical about childhood, when you look to these people and you think, wow, I want to be like that
superhuman
someday. Yeah, it's sort of, you know, so it's a really special thing when you get to, you know, actually meet somebody or be around somebody like that. I'm sure you have people like, I'm just Jerry Douglas or somebody like that, for example, you know, where
I was telling you, I interviewed him here 2 years ago. It was such a big deal for me for him to agree to do, and just like, of course, no problem, come sit down, let's talk about dobro. I mean, that's incredible. You know?
Well, and I'm sure he's such a fan of your playing too. You know,
I don't know, but you know, you talking about Alison Krauss sort of leads me to my next thought and thing I was wondering about. It seems like there's this like resurgence of women in music, and we were talking about the band that you're about to play with Becky Buller and Allison Brown, Missy Raines, Molly Tuttle, and yourself here at RockyGrass. And so, and you know, there's always been amazing women, of course, in music, but it seems like the recognition is now coming with you winning Mandolin Player of the Year a couple times, Molly, being in there, and I think she won guitar last year, right?
Yeah,
Becky Buller.
Becky's won fiddle. I mean, so that's sort of the birth of this it's funny to say band because we're really only playing a couple shows, but the idea of putting something together came about for IBMA this year. The IBMA folks wanted us to put a show on with these first ladies that had won these awards, and so we were like, yeah, that sounds really fun. And then the opportunity came about to do this, so we were like, oh, that'd be great. And so it's kind of fun to be here at RockyGrass while the nominations came out yesterday, because everybody in the band received some form of nomination, and it was like, wow, it's really special to see women be included like that.
Yeah, I mean, I that's what I was wondering, like how you feel about that, man. It's so cool. We need to get a dobro player in there now.
I know, that's what we were saying. Who's the dobro gal going to be? Well, it's funny because I've been nominated for Mandolin Player every single year since I was 16.
You're kidding me.
And I won the last 2 years, but there was a lot of years of being which is totally fine. I mean, just to be nominated was amazing, but it was still a lot of years to be nominated, and whatever, and not win. And Allison was talking about how she won like back in '91.
Oh wow.
The year I was born. and she was saying like how she felt like and then Missy won like maybe 8 years later, and Missy's won bass a whole bunch, but she was just saying, it feels like we've been on some other planet and we've just been waiting for you guys, waiting for me and Molly and Becky and just, I guess, some other women to be recognized. And so we were going, now it's time for the dobro gal. Like, who's that going to be?
I know. Well, maybe she's on my site somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe she's out there.
Come on, we need you.